Hi everyone, this is Sidharth Kumar from ReviewMagic and very excited to do a movie review today on Mukti Bhawan. So this is a movie that is available on Einthusan, and the English name of this movie is called Hotel Salvation. So as I had started to read about the reviews on this movie and including the plot and summary, it did become clear to me that this was not your usual commercial cinema. This is a movie that's much deeper with your inner self, getting salvation or moksha, and how a journey between a father and son towards Varanasi, where the moksha or salvation is to be achieved, is what the story is all about. So I was definitely more interested to watch the main protagonists and other supporting actors, how they come together in this journeys of salvation. So Mukti Bhavan is one of those movies, and the movie has been directed by Subhashish Bhutiani. It stars Adil Hussain in the main lead, Lalit Behl, who's playing the father of Adil Hussain, Geetanjali Kulkarni, Palomi Ghosh, Anil Rastogi. So these are the names that are in this movie. And Mukti Bhavan is essentially a plot, a movie about a old man, Lalit Behl, who is realizing that his time has come near and he needs to go to Varanasi and spend the last days of his life over there. And he's telling this to his family, his son, his wife, and granddaughter. And the son doesn't feel too interested. He just thinks that perhaps, this is not really required. So he's trying to convince his father, but ultimately, the son feels pressured that he has to take off from his job and go to Varanasi. So I think one thing we see here in the Indian society, especially, is that the older generation not necessarily are dependent on the younger generation, because the Lalit Behl does mention that he can go on his own, but it becomes that you are in a situation where you feel you're compelled to go with your father for such a journey. So Adil Hussain is not very comfortable, because he has to meet his end target goals in the job. And when they show that scene in the job where his boss is asking so many personal questions about why is he going, where is he going, why can't he just stay in the same place, and his and Adil's father gets salvation there. So I think that's another aspect of the Indian society that has not changed yet, and that is that when someone is asking for permission for vacation or something, unlike here in the US, you either approve or disapprove. You don't ask too many questions, and I think for most part it gets approved if you've been doing your job. But I think that's the way it is there. So he really has to convince his boss to go on a journey. And when he's on this journey, he's just he and his father, they're two different generations. He wants the taxi driver to drive car faster, while his father wants the car to drive slower. So it's always that kind of blending together the thoughts and meeting in the middle kind of thing that both father and son have to do. So they reach Varanasi, and I didn't know that there is a place called Mukti Bhavan there. In Hindi, it's called Mukti Bhavan, and this could be a place which I have never been. Maybe people actually come and spend the last few months or years of their life there. Now, interestingly, so there are a lot of people in that place. They start getting stares, both the son and the father, but eventually they get a room. And Anil Rastogi, who plays Mishraji, he's a very funny character, and I think his role in the movie, where he's the administrator of the place, is pretty comical, I would say. He tries to make sure that there are rules being followed in the place. So ultimately, Adil and Lalit, they're spending their time there. They're getting used to, cooking food there, sleeping there, exercising next to Ganga Ghat, and just kind of seeing for themselves, what is life really for them. And I think that's another aspect where in Indian culture where people feel that it's the end. They have to go to this places like Ganga and spend that. Nothing wrong about it. It's just that it's a personal choice. But people get to know that this is the end, and they want to have Ganga water. They want to stay simple and live close to where God is, or with next to other people who are also in the same age group. So I think so he meets some friends over there, and initially the reluctance of Adil Hussain. I mean, he's getting really bantered by his boss, and also his father, who wants certain food items for him while he's trying to finish his work. So it is pretty difficult on his part, but as time goes, they can really see that Adil is able to discover why his father wants to come to Kashi or Varanasi, and what does it mean to attain salvation, the last few days of his father's life. So I think he starts to appreciate and respect that, and he calms down in this entire journey. So almost after a couple of months, he says that we should go in, but he's not nagging, he's not complaining, and he's seen deaths happen. He sees people who are coming and in Mukti Bhawan actually getting they're dying. So it is this hard reality of life that people go, and that's how it is. So ultimately, in the end, you do see Adil comes back home. When he comes back home, life returns to usual, but he's still missing his father and the time he spent in Varanasi. And one day he gets this call at night, and his father passes away. So his father passes away. There is a neighbor, that lady also passes away. So it's pretty tragic, I would say. Very, very sad that this is how things end up eventually. Maybe it had to happen. But his father, when he he thinks that his time is near, he tells that when you go, you need to celebrate it. And I think that's something very touching in the movie. That when in the end he's carrying his father on his shoulder, there are still you can see people beating drums, and the granddaughter, the wife, they're dancing, they're kind of letting go of that sad emotion. This was a great man who has gone aboard to God, and they're just trying to make sure that even Adil, who plays the father, who plays the son of Lalit Behl, is just getting comforted by his own by his own wife and daughter. So I think the movie was very surreal. It was calming. It was not too slow. It was not too fast. But if you're looking for a change, it's a family movie. You're looking to just understand the meaning of life in the Indian society. How people want to spend the last few days of their life in Varanasi and trying to attain salvation, and just the understanding of what brings together different lives. How does one person move from birth to death, from death to salvation? This is a movie. It's a cute little movie, and I would recommend watching this movie, especially given the performances by Adil Hussain, who is a great actor, and equally supported by Lalit Behl, Geetanjali, Palomi, Anil, Rastogi. And so the director is Subhashish Bhutiani. He does a good job in executing this kind of a movie, which you seldom see in the Indian commercial cinema. You have a lot of, this is a very simple movie, and he's focusing the attention more on the journey rather than anything that you don't have to do with salvation. It's a simple life, and I think Indian audience, or maybe even international audience, will like this movie. So guys, if you want to check it out, go on Einthusan, and you can watch it from there. Any comments, please mention it below. Or if you want to subscribe to the channel, you'll be getting more updates and more movie reviews. Until then, thank you so much. This is Sidharth Kumar signing off from ReviewMagic. Take care. Bye-bye.